Hi, this video is about an issue that I've had with my 2012 Nissan Sentra S model, and took it to the dealership because my analog brake light was coming on in addition to the wheel slip light. And this took 2 trips to the dealership to diagnose the problem, and once I was given a diagnosis, I was faced with a $95 diagnostic charge along with a $290 parts and labor charge. So before getting the parts ordered, I did some research into what it would take to change this part out myself. So, as you can see here, this is the charge that I faced when I went to the dealership for my diagnostic charge. But to do the part and the labor after the diagnostic charge was going to be an additional $290 plus tax. So all I paid was the diagnostic and decided to do some more research. And what I found was this part I got from Advanced Auto Parts website for $57. So my issue here is $290 for something I could pay $60 for and try to do myself. So I thought it was worth it. So I'm going to do a video on what it takes to change out the analog brake wheel speed sensor. So right out of the box, this is what I'm looking at here. This is the actual sensor. There's a magnet in here, and from what I understand from my research, this magnet counts the teeth on a gear in the wheel and will generate a speed value when measured the number of teeth over time. And this is the electrical connection to connect to the analog brake system. So it seems simple, but we'll see what we're going to be up against here. So I'm crawling under the car. I am at the driver's side rear wheel, which is what the diagnostic showed on the report from the dealership. So let's see what we have here. So peeking in on the back side here, that's the existing speed sensor, the little magnetic sensor with the bolt hole that I showed you in the previous clip. And it looks like this cable is the electrical connection going back, let's see, to that plug there. So I have to unplug this cable, disconnect it from these mounts, disconnect it here and here, and then go back and unscrew that bolt. So that's what I'm going to do now. So what I'm discovering is it's very hard to get a good shot of this part as I'm removing it, but something to watch out for is when you're unplugging this portion, you have to push this little middle piece in order for this clip to come out. So push that clip out, and you know, things like this where it's held in place, this just pops out. So that loosens the cord. So there's a couple more of these things. There's one here. See that? It just comes out very easily. On a more comical note, anybody who has done work on vehicles is going to note that you use a 10mm wrench more than just about any other tool. And so this little hex head here for this bolt just happens to be a 10mm. So this is the last part that I need to remove. Okay, I've already loosened the bolt with a wrench, so now I'm just gonna take it loose here. It should just come right out. Let's see. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna just remove the rest of this cable from the rest of the body of the car here. I have the old part out, and I set it alongside the new part just to kind of compare, and They're very, very similar. They're not exactly the same. The new part is a little bit longer cable. It's kind of hard to tell with it all being curled up here. But I guess the most important thing is the end. And they look pretty much identical at the end. So I don't really have any concerns of this not working. They each about the same size, same little hole pattern. The electrical connections at the end. Let's get it focused here. Yeah, they look the same. The same style plug, so I think this is going to work just fine. The only thing that's different that I can see is in the middle. I have this little snap connector instead of this rubber one. I'm not sure. That's the only difference that I see. These two match, and these two match, and they have the ones on the end. So the only thing that's different is this middle piece. Okay, so I have the new part installed, and what I did, I actually installed this little piece that kind of holds it in place right here first, and that gave me a little more stability for getting that bolt installed. So it kind of helped me hold it in place. Everything worked out good up here with the, let's see if I can get it in the camera, with the electrical connection. And the only issue that I had was I had a little extra slack because this piece was a little bit longer than the stock part. And so I just looped it, and it, kind of actually stays nicely here. I may go back and zip tie this, but I'm not sure. I think I'm just going to leave it. Alright, so I've got the part installed, and the only thing I ended up using was a 10mm wrench. And I think from start to finish, including capturing this on video, it took about 30 minutes. So I'm going to take it for a test drive and make sure I don't get any more errors with my sensor, the ABS light or anything. But all in all, it's a very easy project, and definitely not worth paying $290 plus a $95 diagnostic. So I hope this video may save somebody a $95 diagnostic charge at the very least. But as long as you can use a 10mm wrench and crawl under the tight space there, I mean, I didn't have to jack the car up or anything. So this really is kind of ridiculous that I was going to be charged over $370 for the whole project when you could do this for a $60 part in about 30 minutes of your time. So I hope this video helps somebody out and maybe avoids a $95 diagnostic charge.